Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Leslie. If you haven't been here before, you wandered across my little corner of the internet. Today we are using the laser cutter, or we used the laser cutter. You guys, there's so many videos out on how to laser cut. I don't need to worry about it right now till I can get a good camera set up in the other room. So for today, for the beginning of our video, which is actually on Thursday, I am going to start the painting because it needs to dry overnight. So here we go. I will show you. This circle is going to be a fall welcome wreath, and it is approximately 10.5 inches, okay? And I will show you what goes on top. We have this piece. Just give me 1 second. It will line up, whoops, like that. And in case you're just starting out and you've never had this happen, if a little piece breaks off, don't sweat it. Especially if you have a background like mine, where you can just realign it and glue it. Problem taken care of, right? There we go. You'll never know. So for my sign, I'll just set it over there. I have chosen to do a fall color of burgundy. So let's get that. And what I am going to do is paint my base in the burgundy. However, my top is only going to be varnished so that it's sealed, because I do want to hang it outside. I hope you guys are getting to do some of the things that you love this fall. My husband has been picking fresh apples out of the orchard, and we've been making apple pie. And of course, with Thanksgiving and company coming, there will be more apple pie to make. This year, I think my daughter is going to try a lemon meringue. I am good in the kitchen at baking. I am still, despite all my grandmother's efforts at teaching me, and a few friends along the way, I cannot make pastry. But my daughter is a superb baker. And so I'm hoping that she will go ahead and do it. So there's our first coat. I'm going to allow that to dry and see if it needs a second, because I do really want it to stand out. Now, all I painted on was parchment for easy cleanup. And I'm going to pause you for a moment, move this piece out of the way to a drying area, and start varnishing the other pieces. Be right back. Okay, guys, I am back, and I have picked out my stain and polyurethane. I don't want it to be just this plain eighth of an inch basswood. I want it to have some color, so I have chosen to use the stain polyurethane combo just to give it some color, and I've shaken it up good. Now we'll get it open. The thing to remember when doing this, make it the last thing that you do in your craft room. Make sure windows are open if you can. put it outside to dry because it smells. Now, I just want to see. I haven't used this one yet. And I want to see. I think it might be a touch darker than I expected. But let's see when we get it brushed on. This is the stirring dough. Anyway, no, that'll be fine. So let us stir it up. And clean it on. And in case you're wondering, what I am using for today is wax paper, just because I have so many rolls of it that I need to find a use for it, because I no longer use it in the kitchen. Not as often as I used to, and I had like 6 containers or 6 rolls of it because a friend gave me a few rolls when she cleaned out her kitchen for a big move, and it's just like, okay, too many rolls of it. So I found a use for it in my craft room. I'll tell you, it's just like using the parchment paper. It allows me to do simple cleanup and toss. And there is nothing better than a simple clean and toss in the craft room. I mean, it's not that my glass mat is hard to clean. If you ever need a good mat, a glass mat is awesome. It's just that this way I stain and I toss. And you're off, dear? All right, good luck. See you when you get back.
Okay.
And so we're just going to carry on staining. I do really like this color of stain. And by the way, guys, these cans of stain I got off of Amazon. And they last me forever. I've decided that from now on, I'm just going to buy the big one. Because when I find a color that I like this one, I can go through the small cans pretty quickly. So I might as well just bite the bullet. Whoops. Pay for the big one and be done with it, right? Rather than having to order small cans all the time. As long as you keep your lid on it nice and tight, you'll be good to go for quite a while with this. I will tell you the color of this one in just a minute. And I will also let you know, if you haven't done this before, that I do both sides. That way, if I do miss a spot with my glue and it rains out, and a little bit of the rain gets trapped behind, it doesn't matter because my wood on the back is also protected. And that is part of the reason for getting started on this today, so that it can dry overnight, because it does take a while to dry. And by dry, I don't mean dry just to the touch. I mean dry all the way through. So this one here is golden oak. And I am just loving the way it looks on this basswood. So now you have the idea. I'm going to finish this off camera. I get all my words and the highlights done. Possibly put a second coat on the color piece. And then, once the color piece is completed, I will be adding the satin polyacrylic to it. I don't want to add the stain over top of the paint, so I'll just be using a clear polyacrylic. And that will have all of our pieces ready for tomorrow's video. So I will say, see you later, and I'll be back tomorrow to finish up with you. Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, and we're going to continue with the project. As you will find out at the beginning, I started this yesterday, so everything could be dry for today. It is a laser cut design, and so now I have painted it and put the polyacrylic on it, and I'm gluing it, and then I will show you how I'm going to hang it on my front door. My front door is metal, so in that department, I am fortunate. So let's go down here, whoops, and up just a bit. There we go. And all I did, of course, was use the laser cutter to cut this out. I did not include the laser cutting part because there is so much laser cutting already available to us all. And because I am still trying to decide on a setup in the laser room for a camera and a mic where I don't have to drag everything back and forth. And for somebody who is not a tech geek, it's a nightmare. It really, truly is. But I will get it, guys. So there we go. I have already glued the fall. And now I'm going to glue the welcome. I hope you guys had a great week. I hope that now you're looking forward to some of your own do it for myself time on the weekend, some self-love. I know that here in Canada, where I live, it is Thanksgiving weekend, so I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you all enjoy it. We are having company over. We are doing turkey and all the trimmings, so that will be nice. Tomorrow I will be another year older, so my daughter has offered to cook me a special birthday dinner, which I made it easy for her this year. Because, when your birthday falls right around Thanksgiving like this, and you're going to have a big meal in the weekend anyway, yeah, just go ahead and have something simple. And one of my favorite things that she makes is her taco salad. So that's what I'm doing for my birthday. Taco crafting time, reading time, taco salad, and some extra special time with the grandkids. That is my excitement. And then I'm going to top it all off with a few pounds of consumed turkey. No. One thing about aging is you don't eat as much. That is for sure. The reason I am turning it is because I'm trying to make sure that it lines up the way that I want it to. As you can see, some sides line up better than others. And so I'll just keep turning it until think that's it right. No, it wasn't perfect circle, simply because the design came out at a different size. I'm not sure why, but it will still work. I just have to turn. I think that there was some... There we go. That is it. That is perfect. We got her. I think that there was a bit of shrinkage in the wood when I polyurethaned it, or whatever you want to call it. So, or put the polyacrylic on, I think. Because when we first started yesterday, it lined up perfectly. So now I am just putting the glue on all the places. And if you remember from watching the video here ahead, I showed you that I had an issue with a leaf, and I will show you how that is not going to be a problem here in a moment. Let me double check my glue. I don't need a lot of it, but I do need to make sure that it goes on all the pieces, especially since it's going outside. Okay, and let's do this. Do not pressure it down until you're sure you lined it up, because it sticks really fast. So we're just going to sit here for a minute. I want some pressure on there, and then I will show you how I fix the leaf and how I'm going to hang it. So, alternatives. I know that I used basswood. You could use different colors of basswood. You could use cardboard, and make sure that if you're using cardboard or paper, I'm not sure that I would hang it outside. You can't be promised by anybody that it wouldn't get damp despite sealing it. So I would say if you're using paper, hang it somewhere in the house where they can see it when they come in, okay? That would be my bet. Now, if you do not want to, oops, hang on guys, there. And that's how I fixed the broken leaf. There was a little piece left there. I just realigned it. But if you don't have a laser cutter, you can buy a round from the dollar store, which would work perfectly. You could buy two if you like and cut this circle yourself if you wanted a frame for yours, and then use dollar store stickers or wooden cutouts. I know they do have some, or they did at mine, to complete your sign. You could hand paint it if you're good at that. You could, if you have a sublimation, or not a sublimation printer, a heat press, thank you. You could use some vinyl and do it. There are many, many ways to get things done. They don't all have to be the same as what I show you. I am showing you the base project. Where you take it from there is totally up to you. So there we go. We've got our sign. Let me zoom you out just a bit so you can see. Whoop, that's in, Leslie. There we go. Fall welcome. I love that. I think that's gorgeous. Oops, there you go, guys. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it upside down. And I have a package of magnetic sheet. Comes in one solid big piece that I cut in half. And because my door is metal, I am fortunate enough that I can hang it this way. The reason I say fortunate is because it can tend to get windy here. And yes, this is sticky, but I'm adding some reinforcements. It does tend to get windy here. And when I use ribbon, which I do love to do, you hear bang, 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 and then you hear bark, 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 because it drives both dogs insane. So this way, I have a nice magnet on the back that will allow me to hang it up to the door. And I have my welcome sign all ready to go. I did have another one up there from last year, so I'll just replace it with this one. And that, guys, is as easy as it is. Now, some advice. If you do it with cardboard or paper and you say want to be able to use it again next year, then you're going to want to spray it with Krylon sealer. If you want your kids to do it and you want it to last years, I would suggest polyacrylic if you're using something like this, or Krylon sealer if you're using a paper-based product. What would I do if I didn't have a metal door? I would, of course, go for the ribbon. And I would just simply glue it on the back and put a piece of tape over it so that it has time to hold and dry, then pull it off and hang it on the door with a wreath hanger. So there we go, guys. Nice, simple project. Like I said earlier, it took a total of about 47 minutes to cut out. I cut the round in its own on one cut. Then the next piece was this piece here, this design. The frame was cut the second round, and then the third round was the welcome, the fall shadow, which was not part of the design, but I added, and then the word fall. So 3 cuts, 47 minutes. And that's on the X-Tool M1 Ultra. I hope you guys like this simple project. I hope that if you get a chance, you give it a try. I think the next one I'm going to do, I'm going to use vinyl. I'm going to use this basic frame. And I'm going to use the background piece of wood and then have candles and use it as a centerpiece. The ideas just keep flowing and the time keeps getting shorter. All right, guys. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And I will see you in whatever comes next. Bye.